Welcome back. I ate too much today. Will I gain weight? Epic moments. See if you can relate to this story. Today I overate. I had this many calories. My target deficit is lower than that. Honestly, I just said F it and overate. Tomorrow I'll get back on track. Most of my days eating were pretty good this week, so it shouldn't really be a big deal, right? Click like if that's something you can relate to. I'm going to tell you about in this video. You'll only keep the weight of your calorie surplus over time, so that food mass and the water weight that you're retaining from whatever salt, sodium was in it, those things will fluctuate, but you're not just going to gain that weight directly by result of having a big meal. Let's talk about it more. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance, where I build adaptive business leaders through compassionate health coaching. If you want to love your body and feel confident again, the Health Confidence Club is the compassionate way to keep your promises to yourself and let your health support your life. That's linked below. All right. So when you are saying these things, if you have one of those big moments like forget it or F it, right? Like I'm just going to do what I want right now, you want to understand what contributed to that. Relapse is a common part of behavior change I talk about a lot in my coaching, helping you understand the process of, changing your habits, starting new ones that support your life, all that stuff. And I've talked about this in the previous video. Will one day of overeating ruin my diet? How to lose weight guilt free? I'll put that below. And also, what you want to look at is once you've made this decision, you've said, forget it, I'm just going to eat what I want this time. You want to make sure that you are understanding the process that went behind that. You want to gather the data. Science based is a core value of Fit for Freelance. And you don't just want to go through and say, like, yeah, something just happened. So I didn't do the thing that I want to do. You want to be like, okay, what happened? So I can make sure that I don't make that exact same mistake again. So that's a big thing with these F it moments when they come up. If they come up, which they're likely to, you're likely to, you want to take a break and understand, like, okay, how can I not make that exact same thing happen? Otherwise, you'll just keep doing it, right? And anytime you get into that situation, you'll find a way to blow off your goals and your dreams, and you'll get frustrated. You'll wonder if something's wrong with you. When there's nothing wrong with you, you aren't being adaptive based on the data that you're gathering from the changes you're trying to make. Okay, so what was the situation that led to you saying F it? Think about it, take a look at the overall process, and we can make some changes with that. What I usually find, the guilt free framework, you need confidence, realistic focus, and accountability to make sustainable change. So let's take a look at some things that might have gone wrong and cause you to make that kind of decision in the moment. Confidence. Do you believe you're worth the changes that you want for yourself? So some people will get stuck when they are trying to change a habit, but they don't really believe that they are worthy of the result. Like, who am I to think I can lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds or have this change that I want for myself? Right. And if you don't have that confidence, then you're going to find ways to say, like, oh, well, I guess it's not really worth the attempt in the first place. All right. Next, do you believe you can be successful? This is separate, but a similar look at, is this possible for me? Do I believe in the thing that I am trying to do? How confident are you in your plan that you've chosen? Does it suit your lifestyle? That kind of thing. Okay, so 3 things to consider with confidence. Next, realistic focus. Are your targets clearly defined? This is a big one, especially when it comes to like New Year's resolution type goals, where people don't really think about, the standards of a clear objective. All right, and it's not clear, so you don't know if you're doing it, and then you'll feel bad if you don't do it, and then you feel guilty, and then all kinds of problems, self-esteem issue. So you want to stay out of that. For realistic focus, you want them to be SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. If you don't have these 5 elements to the changes that you're trying to make, then you are likely to get stuck because you don't really know what change you're trying to make specifically or measurably or time bound. A lot of times people will get stuck. It's easy to get stuck when you think that you're just going to make a big change all of a sudden and then it's going to last forever, right? That's not how it goes. No sugar ever again. So now or a month from now or 3 months from now, you're never going to eat another piece of birthday cake again. And that's possible, definitely. It's just if you don't believe that, if you don't find that realistic for you, then you'll be like, well, I'm going to do that later. So why not just do it now? F it, right? So think about this behind the scenes action that can be contributing to you blowing off your diet, your plan to go to the gym, your plan to build your business or work on your book, all that stuff, right? You want to make sure you have realistic focus for that. Click like if that helps. All right, next, accountability. What are the consequences? So if you don't have any consequences, then or you aren't aware of, there's consequences for everything, but you might not be aware of it. You might not have considered it. So then you can just change things based on your emotions in a moment. And that's when you run into challenges saying F it. Like, okay, so if you don't know the consequences, then you aren't likely to follow through with the behavior that you are intending. All right. So long-term consequences, if you are trying to lose weight, you're trying to eat healthier, but you blow it off, then you have to think about how that affects what you're doing. It's definitely not going to take you towards your weight loss goal, right? That's a consequence that you have to consider. Another thing for accountability, who do you have to follow up with? So when I talk about accountability, it's a process for ownership. And that's either you being able to follow up with yourself, having clearly defined goals, and you like maybe a checklist or knowing exactly what you need to do. So that way you can report back to yourself, or having someone else like a coach, me, or a friend that you can talk with about this. So you're saying, I'm intending to do some of these things, but then if you don't follow through, are you going to have some sense of accountability to yourself or someone else? Right. And if you don't have that confidence I was talking about earlier, then you won't really feel the need to hold yourself accountable. So you might need to outsource that until you develop your process for ownership. So who do you have to follow up with? Then also, when it comes to accountability, does not following through undermine your confidence? And so this is a good way to hold yourself accountable. If you feel like you are consistently saying F it, you're blowing off your plans for yourself, you are not keeping up with your own intentions, and that can make you feel like you aren't a good person. Or like that's one way, guilt, shame, those kinds of things. But also, you can't really rely on yourself at your word. You don't know if you can trust yourself. And that is a huge problem when it comes to taking confident ownership of your path to fame and fitness, right? So you want to make sure that you have the accountability to follow through with what you're intending to do. Otherwise, you'll feel bad about yourself, and then you won't be able to do other things that you want to do just because you didn't set and follow through with the goals you want for your health. Something as simple as eating, an eating choice, right? So that's why that confidence, realistic focus, and accountability are three parts that really make this go. Click like if that makes sense to you. So instead of saying F it, take a look at what caused you to say that, and then understand the process so you can make a better decision next time. A decision that supports the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams. So that's today's message. Next, you can watch how to follow through with your goals without forcing it. I talk about this a lot on the channel, so you should subscribe as well. I'll put that video right here. So that's today's message. As always, keep practicing. Peace.